Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Twinkle Toes bracelet. My son came up with the name of this before I even designed it, so Twinkle Toes it is. But this design takes 148 total. So the breakdown of that is this tangerine color, you'll need 50. For the dark purple here, you'll need 24. For the sides, if you use all one color, like I did on this one, you'll need 72. If you do two different colors, you'll need 36 of one color, 36 of another. If you decide to do multiple colors, then you'll just have to figure out the breakdown of that. But just know that you need 72 total for these side ones there. So if I didn't say it already, this is a loom design. I will get into all that in just a moment. But let's get our supplies ready and let's get started. To make this bracelet, you will need to have 5 bar pins wide, but you need 10 total because you have 5 set up and then you will have another 5 set up in front of it. So here's my second set of 5 here. My first one ends in the middle of the blue base and then my second set is set up right in front of that. I'm going to flip it over so you can see how I set up my bases. The purple ones don't come with the loom, so if you don't have them, it's okay. Just use more of these blue ones. But you can pause it and set it up like I have, in case you're not sure how to do it. And then Justin's Toys also shows on his channel how to set up multiple bar pins as well. I'll have a link in the description box below where you can check that out in case you need more help. So to get started, you're going to want to grab whatever color you're using for where my dark color is here. And then also where the gold is. So you're going to want to have those two colors ready. For the dark color, I'm going to use green. And then for the gold, I'm going to use a gold glitter. So my green will be color 1. My gold will be color 2. So grab color 1. And we're just going to lay 1 on this center pin for when we close it up. On that very center there. And then we're going to grab the color 1 again, and we're going to go out to the left and the right, like so. So now grab your second color, color 2, my gold, and we're just going to lay a horizontal band on that same center pin there. From here, we're going to keep alternating colors. So I'm going to grab my color 1 again, and we're going to lay a triangle around these 3 pins here. So start where your last one ended and wrap it around those 3 there. And then we mimic it on the right. So 2 triangles. And now we'll lay the horizontal band again. We'll do that again. Lay both triangles. And now we'll go back to our second color and lay the horizontal. So we'll just continue to alternate between the 2 colors all the way up. Now if you only have one loom, or not one loom, if you only have 5 bar pins, the one set up, you can make the bracelet, but you're only going to get 6 of these petals here. So your bracelet will be quite small. It will be about that big. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from my finger to my finger. So you would need to add like some kind of single chain or something on to get it to fit around your wrist. But you can make it if you only have 5. I just wanted to point that out. Now since I'm using the 10 bar pins here, I lay 23 of these triangle sets. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And after I've laid 23, then I stop. If your wrist is bigger, you might need to go down to the end of the loom. But when I lay 23, it gets me close to 7.5 inches, which is good. Okay, so I've laid 23 triangle sets, and the last one should end with the horizontal band on top. Push everything down, come back to the beginning, and now we're going to lay the side bands. So you're going to choose whatever color you're using for all of these. I'm going to alternate between two colors. So one of my sections here will be the emerald green, and then I'm going to see how this burgundy brownish color looks. So we're just going to come up here to this second to last row, or here to this row. It doesn't matter because we're laying it amongst those two like this. So going out, and then we'll bring it in. We're just going to be laying a bunch of V's. So I always start on this bar pin because on this one I tend to lay it in the wrong direction. So on this one, we just come up to the next one. I'm going to switch colors. And you always start with the band going that way first, and then do the one going inwards. That's very important. If you're looking out here, there will always be one pin that's empty. If you're looking here, we don't skip any. If you look like this, we're going to have a bunch of V's going all the way down the loom. So I'm going to alternate between the two colors, just laying our V's. Always start on this pin here. It just makes things easier, and you know that you always start going in the up direction. Not sure how this color combo is going to look together, but we're going to try it out. So the last V stops at the very end. So I'll come to the beginning so that we can lay the left side. If you want your little petal things on the sides to match, you lay exactly the same color that you have on the right side. If you want to do something different, you can certainly do that. Like if you want your brown to be here so that they're two different colors, you can do that. But I'm going to have my each row match. So on the left side, I will start with the green. Going out. And then in. So just make sure it's a V. It will look like that. We're going to skip the outer pin. Come up to this one. Bring it in. Like so. Skip that one. Just like on the other side, it might be easier to start actually here. Go up, and then from there, in. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so I have laid my last one to just double check, make sure you didn't mess anything up. So we're still going to be using the same color that we just used, but we're going to be laying triple cap bands on the end of every V. So I'll show you how I do mine. It's a little hard to explain, but I'll just show you how I do it. So let me grab my green. Hopefully you can see this clearly. I make like an X, and then I use my right hand to swoop it around the pin. And there's a cross made, so I grab the top part of that cross. I'll show you that again. That's just how I do it. You can also use your hook. 1, 2, 3. So you wrap it around 3 times. I have hair on mine. So wrap it around 3 times, then you got to grab the entire cap band, stretch it over. That kills my fingers, so I don't like to do it that way. You can also, that band's really stretched. I'm going to do that again. So as long as you get a triple cap band on the end of each one, you just don't want to do it 2 times because it will be too loose. So make sure they are triple capped. Do the same on the left side. So get each cap band on those, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So I have all mine capped, and I just want to show you what I do. You guys know I am very meticulous, a little bit nitpicky about my bracelets and just how things look. So what I do after I lay on my cap bands, because sometimes it can look really messy on the pin, is I grab my hook, I go inside the pin, and I go like this around in a circle to try to smooth out the cap band. And you can see how it's like crossing. I try to do that until it's straight like that. Like I like the part that's all crossed to be on the inside so that when I take it off of the loom, it's as neat as possible. That's just me being nitpicky. You certainly do not have to do that, but I just like to let you guys know what I do. So then you're going to want to lay one last band, which is our cap band, to get started on looping. So whatever color you used in the very beginning for your triangles is what I use now. And we're going to apply it to the second row here, counting from the left. I wrap it around 2 times. And then we're just going to stretch it over to this pin here. It's a big stretch. I do it very slow if I have a really tight band because I don't want to snap it. Like so. So wherever your last bands ended, that is where your cap band is going to go. And then we'll be ready to start looping. So we're going to get started by going inside the cap bands here on the sides. I always start on my right side. So we'll go into this cap band, grab the top band, and bring it back to itself, which will be diagonally down like so. And we'll do the same on the left side. This first set that we do here is a little bit tight because of the cap band, the starting cap band. So just keep that in mind. It won't be as tight once we start moving forward. So now we're going to loop the horizontal band that's on these 2 pins here. It's this one. So we're going to go in the right corner here, push back the top 3 layers. The 4th band will be the horizontal one, and you're going to connect it to the center. Now, if your band here pops off like mine did while you were doing that, just reconnect, like continue to connect it, and then just fix it and put it back on. We're going to come to the left side and loop the horizontal on that one as well. So push the top 3, grab the 4th, and bring it to the center. Now, this next part is actually, it's not this part, but the next part. But I'm going to have you do it now. This gets really tight. So I'm going to have you grab this horizontal part of the band and just connect it to the pin in front for now. It just will make that easier to go into in a minute. So now we're going to loop the bottom part of the triangle band. So we're going to go in this same pin here, grab the very bottom band and pull that forward. We'll do the same on the left pin, grabbing the very bottom band and pulling it forward. We're going to now go into the center and loop the other side of that green triangle band. That's also going to come up to here. So push back, get that out of the way, grab your very top band that's in there, and bring it to the left, which is back to itself. And then the right one, which is this one, will go back over here to the right. Like I said, this first one's a little tight. Like so. I'm going to lay my loom back down. So we're going to go back in these side pins, loop this band back to itself like so, and we'll do the same on this side. Now going into the same pins that we just looped on, we're going to now start looping the horizontal bands again. So we're going to go in here. It's going to be the second to last band on that pin. So it's the horizontal band that's going to the center, and then come to the left. It's the second to last band. Make sure that's the only band you have on there, and bring it to the center. Now we're going to loop the triangle bands. So we're going to go in these. I always start on the right. So this time there's only one band on the pin, and that will go forward. Come to the left and make that go forward as well. Come here into the center. Push back these bands that we have on there. Grab the top one and bring it to itself, which is the left and the right. So it's looking like that. So now we're back up here where we have these side V's. Anytime we have the V's, we always start by bringing these diagonal bands down, and then the rest will be the same. So we'll bring that down, do the horizontal, and then we will loop the triangle band. So I'll start on my right. I'll bring this down. Come to the left. I'm going to come to this right pin here so we can loop the horizontal band. It's the second to last band that's on that pin, and you bring that to the center here. We're going to come to this one. Move those bands out of the way so you can grab it. And this side always feels tight because you already have this side connected. So that's normal. Once we have it connected there, we're going to come back to these pins here and loop the very bottom band forward. So we'll now come into the center here, and we're going to loop the top band to itself, which is to the left, and then this one to the right. Okay, so now we're going to come to these pins here, and we're going to loop these in. And that ends that section there. The next section, we'll start with our horizontal band, which I've probably said horizontal a million times. But we're going to go in here, push back, grab the second to last band, pull it in the center. Repeat on the left side. Now on this side, if you look in mine, my bands are a little bit out of order. You can see how it's kind of crossing there. So if that happens to you, you can just use your hook to get that to straighten out. So we're going to go in here, grab the second to last, and bring it to the center. Like so. So we'll come into these two pins here and loop the bottom bands up. If at any time I'm going too fast for you, YouTube has the slow down where you can slow the speed down now, or hit the pause button and rewind if you need to. So we loop them straight. So now we'll go into the center and we'll loop this part to the left and this part to the right. So we'll come up here now. This is the start of our next section. So we will start with looping the outer bands, the right one first and the left one. Now we'll go in here and loop my gold to the center. we're going to come to this pin here, loop that straight up, and the same on the left one. Future me here, guys, I actually skipped the next part that we need to do. So right now, you're going to go in the center pin, grab the top band, bring it back to the left, go back in the center, grab that band, and bring it to the right, just like we were doing previously. And now we have to finish by doing the sides. So we're going to come right here where we finished and start with the horizontal to the center. And now we'll do our triangles again. So we go straight up there, and then we bring the centers also back to the same side. So we're going to start that all over again. With these outer ones, we're going to bring them to themselves. Now we'll go into the pin that we just brought them to and bring these to the center. And now we'll bring these straight forward. Go in the center, bring these to themselves. And then to end that section, we will bring these outer ones in to close. So I'm just going to continue without explaining step by step, and you guys can just follow along. If you ever forget like what the next step is and you're about to do one where it starts with the side V, just find a part in my video where I'm about to start that part if for some reason you're not like following along with me, because each section with the side V is the same, and then every middle section in between those is the same. So as long as you find a part that I'm doing that in the video, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I hope that made sense. I do think that this design is possible with just the 3 bar pins. I was messing around with it. It's definitely possible, but it's like really tedious and tricky because you have to lay loose bands down and you have to do a lot of manipulation to get it to work out, but it is possible. I doubt anyone that doesn't have this many bar pins is watching right now. I'll have a message in the description box, but if that is something you guys would want to see, I could definitely try to film that. I think it would be tricky and hard, but I'd be definitely willing to try that if needed. I think I'm coming down with a little something. You know how you can tell you're just not quite feeling yourself? My throat's feeling a little icky. I feel a little sluggish and tired. It's kind of that time of the year where you start to not feel too great when the seasons start to change. I think that might be happening. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Maybe with a good night's sleep I'll feel better. Since I've got back into looming, I stay up way too late. I get so, like, drawn into, like, oh, I almost have a new design, and I don't want to let the idea go, so before I know it, so much time has gone past. That doesn't help how I feel in the morning if I don't get any sleep. My tripod was knocked over, and I just haven't been able to, or at least I feel like I haven't been able to get the angle right since it fell over. I've been fiddling with it. I've actually filmed half of this design and then deleted it because I didn't like how the angle looked, and then I did half of it, was debating on doing that again, but I'm starting to feel drained from talking to myself. And with my throat and body feeling like this, I said, I just got to get through this and not refilm it for a third time. And I really wanted to get this up. Excuse me. Apologies. I really wanted to get this up for you guys during the weekend. And if I don't get it finished tonight, that won't happen because I have to edit it. So I'm pushing through, and hopefully the angle and lighting and all that good stuff is good for you guys. I'm purposely not going off of camera just because I feel like this one has a lot of steps. It's not just like go straight up one thing or straight down the middle. You're kind of all over. So I figured it would at least be easier if I stayed on here and you can just kind of go through it with me as I'm doing it. I'm on my last set of triangles. You're just going to keep doing it like you've been doing it. Okay, so I've reached the top of mine, and the last thing I have left to do is the horizontal one, and we're going to do that like we've been doing the whole time, and bring it into the center. And that technically could close it, like you could put the C-clip just on that, but if that broke, you know, as you're wearing it or something, then your whole bracelet would fall apart. So I did add an extra layer. So once you reach the top and connected that horizontal one, you're going to come in this pin here and grab the bottom band and bring it to the center, just like we would close any other bracelet. And then we're going to do the same on this left pin. Like so. And then you're going to get your C-clip handy. And that band that we laid there at the beginning, you're going to grab it with one hand and then go in the pin and grab the other side and bring it together. We'll attach our C-clip. Like so. Now to take this bracelet off, it will get stuck if you just try to rip it off right now. Just release all of these cap bands. And then once you take all of those off, you can carefully pull one section at a time. This is a tight bracelet. It's going to feel hard to do that. So if you're scared that things are going to break, you can also take this row and this row off with your hook, and then the middle will pop right off. So I'm going to go ahead and release everything off my loom, and I will show you my finished bracelet when I'm done. All right, so there you have my Twinkle Toes bracelet. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you do make your own, please tag me on Instagram under Loves to Loom. I do enjoy seeing your guys' renditions a lot. I do look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. See you later, guys. Bye.